I'm Sensei Kakuyo, North American contributor for Buddhist Global. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's Dharma talk is Cleaning Our Potatoes. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. I've been thinking a lot about the harvest that we've had this year. It's been a success overall, not only because we got lots of wonderful vegetables to eat here on the homestead, but because there have been a lot of wonderful Buddhist lessons that I've been able to incorporate into my practice. Many lessons came from one vegetable in particular, the potato. As I'm sure you know, potatoes are root vegetables. They grow in the soil, and then they have long vines that grow up above the soil. The vines are not edible, but the tuber that you buy in the grocery store most definitely is. That said, once you grow the potatoes and harvest them, the work isn't over. There's a lot of work that needs to be done before you can cook with them and then eat them. You see, the thing about root vegetables like potatoes is that they have a very thin, very soft skin that's easy to break because they spend their entire lives in damp soil. So once you harvest them, you can't clean them immediately like you would other vegetables. Instead, you have to let them remain dirty. Store them in a cool, dry place for 1 to 2 weeks. During that time, the potato skin thickens, dries out, and hardens. At that point, you can use the potato at your leisure. If you try to clean the potato before that, what happens is the skin breaks, and now there's an opening where pathogens can get into your vegetables and cause them to rot, which, of course, no one wants. Now, where this becomes tricky is when we decide we want to cook with our potatoes. I can't just pull them out of the pantry and start chopping them up, throwing them in the frying pan. Instead, I have to wash them in the sink, scrubbing off all of that dirt that I left on there after the harvest. So before I can enjoy my French fries, before I can enjoy my mashed potatoes, my JoJo potatoes, whatever thing I'm making with potatoes that day, I have to take them out, I have to put them in the sink, I have to scrub them, which is not something I necessarily enjoy, but it's something I have to do in order to get to the fun part, which is the eating of the potatoes. Now, this is a wonderful allegory, not just for food, but for life and for our Buddhist practice. Everyone wants to realize enlightenment. Everyone wants to have a heart filled with wisdom and compassion. Everyone wants to look at other sentient beings as an extension of themselves, treating them with compassion, with loving kindness, with sympathetic joy, and with equanimity. I'm, of course, referring to the 4 Brahma Viharas, the 4 mind states, that we as Buddhists are told we must abide within ourselves. However, before we can get to that, we must do the hard work of cleaning our potatoes. We have to meditate. We have to chant. We have to do prostrations in front of our altar. We have to study Buddhist scriptures. Even though that work isn't always fun, isn't always enjoyable, isn't something we can post about on our Instagram, it's hard work and it's important work, because we can't enjoy our spiritual practice without it. In the same way that a homesteader can't enjoy their potatoes without washing them. So, next time we struggle to sit down on the cushion or to read a Buddhist scripture when there's something fun we'd rather watch on Netflix, let's think about those humble potatoes growing in the soil. Let's think about them drying out, their skin hardening, and the work that's necessary, the cleaning that's required, in order for us to enjoy the fruits of our labor. We must do the hard things in order to enjoy the fun things. This is true of gardening, it's true of life. and it's true of Buddhist practice. Amitabha.